Hello, you guys. So in this next video in my Pay to Play series, based on your comments on my video, Women Don't Benefit from Hookups and Why Pay to Play Makes Sense, which I will pin up here. I'm going to read a comment from Dan Hen 223. I really like his comment. I think men can just have sex and go on about their business due to biology. It's the same reason a man can impregnate multiple women while a woman has to be choosy because she'll be on the sideline for a while. That's true. Now, not all men can do this or want to do this, but many men can and will and do, and they will just have sex and go on about their business. Whereas women will have sex only with guys that they like and would date in general. And that's why if men only want sex, they should pay for it. That makes it very clear that it's not personal, there's no dating, and it's an equal exchange of value. It's an equal exchange of value because typically a woman will want a relationship, and a relationship requires this man to invest his time, his emotions, consistently over a period of time to make this woman want to have sex with him, want to engage with him. It's a huge investment, and just paying the money is a much easier investment for a man. It's a much easier investment. And since a man values his money and a woman values her vagina and her body and her sexuality and who has access to it, it's a very fair exchange of resources. I mean, I'm a big believer in relationships, don't get me wrong. I make a lot of videos about relationships on this channel, but not everyone is in a relationship. Many men are not in a relationship because they're divorced or they're still single, focused on their careers. Some of them are just players, I guess. Others are in a sexless marriage and they're able to just have sex with the woman in a pay-to-play situation so they can stay, happily married. Whereas I don't think a woman would ever I think for a woman, an affair is emotional, more likely. So I like his comment that men can just have sex due to their biology and go on about their business. They have less invested, less to lose. Whereas women, we have not just the 9 months of pregnancy, but childbirth is very risky. There's still women in this day and era who are having C-sections because they can't have it, it doesn't come out of their body naturally. Women used to die in childbirth, don't forget. And then you have all the breastfeeding and the nursing, and you don't have freedom from your infant. You're really tied down a lot by that baby for a long period of time. And women know this. This is why women should not hook up. If sex is all a guy wants, he should pay for it. Either in taking you on trips or buying you gifts or giving you money. This is my opinion. Otherwise, don't hook up. Just wait for it and have sex in your relationship. And I think young women should just have sex in a relationship. I don't think young women should do pay to play because you got to learn a healthy baseline. I'm going to go off on a tangent. The same way that alcohol should be reserved for people over 21, because when you're a young person and you're struggling you're having a bad day or something's upsetting you, you have to learn to deal with things sober. You cannot start relying on alcohol when your life is difficult or you have a difficult emotion, because then you're always going to rely on alcohol and you're going to stunt your growth. If you start doing pay to play, like someone left a comment that his cousin was doing sugar baby stuff at 16, she circumvented and stunted her ability to be in a relationship. It's just stunted. Now men are just money to her. Men are just money to her. I'm guessing she was probably sexually abused, that woman. That men are just money to her, So you have to have a healthy baseline of relating before you start hooking up or doing pay to play, because if you just start hooking up with guys and you never experience a man caring about you or loving you or you loving him and trusting him and feeling safe, then the pay to play you do is going to just traumatize you over and over and over. So you have to learn to deal with your life sober. You have to learn how to be in a relationship before you start drinking alcohol and before you start doing pay to play. That was a little tangent. Let's continue with his comment. Sorry, Dan Hen, if you're watching this, I'm going to keep going with your comment. As far as the value of sex goes, women don't get excited about hookups because there's an abundance of penis, LOL. Women get hit on all the time and can get sex whenever they want. That's true, but his next sentence is the reason we don't, other than already what we discussed. Although the woman won't know if the sex will be good, LOL, they can still get it. I'm going to tell you, there's a 90% chance that the sex is going to suck and not be worth it at all. And there's a 10% chance it will be good. And for the guys that are good, there's a 99% chance you will never see them again. And that's the truth about hookup culture. The sex is likely to be bad, because most men are very bad at sex. And if it is good, he's probably a player or a fuckboy, and he's off to the next woman. Sorry, that's just the reality. That's another reason women shouldn't hook up, because the sex is not worth it. And if it's so good, then you're just going to think about him all the time. But if he's paid you, it's very clear that it was not personal. The good experience he gave you was because that's what he wanted to do. Some men actually love turning on a woman, getting her excited about his cock, making her come, seeing her in her pleasure, pleasing her. They like that. It's not that men just want to exploit a woman and use her body. No, they want to see her writhing in pleasure. That's what they want to see, an authentic experience. And they're willing to pay for that. That real authenticity, that's hard to get. But let me continue with the rest of this comment. I keep going off on tangents here, but that's why you watch my videos, right? The commentary. Now, here he goes about the attractiveness of men. Your average man, on the other hand, is not attractive. And most women don't find most men attractive, and that's just the way it is. I think the majority of men just need to accept the fact that women aren't going to find them attractive, LOL. I can tell you, I like this guy's personality. I find his personality attractive because he really gets it. He puts it in very easy terms, and he has a sense of humor. It's kind of, I'm intrigued with this guy, Dan Hen 223. You're intriguing me, actually. Okay, now what I want to say about the attractiveness of men, that doesn't mean that men are ugly. In general, men are not beauty objects, right? We think of men more as being like resource providers, providing like security, stability, provisioning, commitment, relationship. They're not really beauty objects, although many men are quite hot and women find different men hot. That's the thing. I've been in so many situations where I'm like, oh my God, I met this really hot guy. He's so hot. I saw him online, and I show my friend a picture and she's like, ew. Or I see so many women with men that they're totally in love with. They think are just so gorgeous, these guys. And I'm like, your guy is very ugly. I don't like that race. I think he's too fat. I think he's very ugly. He's gross. He turns my stomach. I have a friend who's like, I like a man whose face has a certain shape, and she likes a man who has a different shape, so she doesn't like that shape. Some women just hate beards. I happen to love them. If a guy has a beard, I'm already more excited, and some women are like turned off, I think. I don't know. So women are just more picky, but I want to be very clear, that doesn't mean that men are unattractive as a group. It's just that women are more choosy in what they personally like. I happen to love men in suits, but I had one friend who was like, I don't like men in suits at all. They turn me off. I like a man with a goatee Or I like a guy who's a more casual type of guy. A guy in a suit, I always love that. You know, the businessman, the office guy, the executive type, the entrepreneur. Oh my God. But some women don't like that at all. And again, that's why women don't go around hooking up for all these reasons. We're just, and it all comes down to, I think, his main point, the fact that our ability to enjoy sex is a lot more related to how we feel about that man, our feelings about that guy, and how he vibes with us. It's more personal for us. And that's why women will generally have sex with a man they would date, and women wouldn't date that many men. So when we choose a man that we want to have sex with, it's very personal and there's some emotional interest in that man. Whereas for men, they're just like, she's hot, I'm down. She's hot, I'm down. Not all men, but many. And so that's why they should pay, because we're very different. And I know like the feminist movement and the hookup culture tried to tell us that we're the same. Even like with this whole trans ideology. Oh, if I can just take some cross-sex hormones, I can be a woman and compete in women's sports. And women can fuck like men, and we have birth control, so why can't we just hook up and fuck all the time? That's not working, and people are really disenchanted with the dating apps and the loss of romance and women acting like men, men being sissified and acting like women, wearing their compliant little masks and whatever. And I think that we have to acknowledge our biology and our differences, and pay to play is a very pure, authentic interaction, because a lot of women take advantage of men, which I don't like. Like they will, oh, well, he wanted to take me to dinner, so I'll let him, when she has no interest in him at all and she just wants the free dinner, she just wants the gifts. The pay to play is just very upfront. There's no games, there's no pretense, and it's an exchange of resources. It's a fair exchange of resources. I think this guy, Dan Hen, really gets it, so that's why I wanted to read his comment. And I think that is, I have one more comment I want to read, and then then I'm going to stop making videos for the day, because I haven't made videos in so long that like, I feel like I've talked way too much today already. Okay, thanks for watching.